Well, let's start by creating a new project. So from file, a new Java project. I'll call it employees. Next, finish. Then right click. We need one class, so yes, the class name test employees, public and public static void main. I will need reading from the keyboard, so import java.util.star, and here scanner 1a scanner sc equals new scanner system.n. Then create the names array, string names equals, then we have to put names of employees. I'll put your names. Let me look at your names here. Kerna. Then meet. Then Almaz. Then Amar. Okay. What we can do with 5, we can do with 500. 1, 2, 3, 4. What we can do with 4, we can do with more than 4. Double salary equals 3050, 340, 470, and 200. Create the 2 arrays. Then, what do we have to do? Let's check. Using a method, find the average. Let's get the average. We have to use a method, so we come down here. Method to find the average. Public static double. The average is double. The average of salaries, of course. Salary AVG. To get the salary average, we need the array of salaries. So, double salary. To find the average, you need the total. So, in double sum equals 0, for integer I equals 0, I less than salary, which is the name of the array, dot length, semicolon, plus plus. Sum plus equals salary of I. If you don't understand any step, please ask. So through this loop, we will calculate the sum. Then, what do we have to return? Return sum over what? Number of employees, salary dot length. Number of items in the array. Exactly. Here, system dot out dot println the salary average equals plus the name of the method, which is salary avg, and the argument, which is the name of the array. Let's run. Oh no. Right click, run as Java application. Okay. The salary average is 3,950. Okay. It's a reasonable number. Let's continue. Find the maximum salary. Find the maximum. Finding the maximum item, the maximum number in any array, it has a fixed procedure. We don't change it. So, method to find the maximum salary. Maximum salary, maximum age, maximum price, maximum grade, any maximum is the same. Just the difference is if it's integer or double. So public static double, because it's a salary, so it's double max salary. To find the maximum salary, we need the array of salaries. So double salary array. What is the procedure to find the salary, the maximum item in the array? We start with double max equals. Max here is the maximum. So finally, I will return max. So I start with declaring max, and I start assuming max is the first item in the array. So it's salary of 0. Then for integer I equals 0, I less than salary dot length I plus plus. Then if you have list of numbers and you need to find the maximum number, you will look at the first one. In your mind, you will remember the first one. Then look at the second one. Look at the third one. What you will keep in your mind? The maximum. So what is happening? Your brain is comparing between the first one and the second and the third, and so on. This what exactly we need to do. We will assume the first one is the maximum. Why? Because we just see the first one. Compare the first with the second. Which is bigger? Take it and ignore the other, and so on. I need here to compare between what I have in mind, or what I have as a max, and what the salary. One by one, all salaries. If the salary, let me change it. It has to be, if the salary of I greater than max, change. Let max equals this salary, because this salary is greater than max. That's it. This all what you need to do. Finally, return max. That's all. So let's here go to main, system dot out dot println maximum salary equals what? What's the name of the method? Max salary. So max salary. What argument? Only one, which is salary array. Run. 400, no, not 400, it's 4,700. Is it true? Okay, let me change this one to be 5. Run again. Let me change this one to be 5. So whatever I change, I still always get the maximum salary. Okay, let's go to the third. Using a method, find the index of the employee who has the minimum salary. Call the method to print the name of that employee. Actually, I here make it clear. I should tell you, find and print the employee who gets the minimum salary without explanation how. But I wanted to explain it because maybe you don't have the idea. Whenever we need to find an item of another array related to item in this array, we need the index. Here I have salaries. If I know this is the minimum salary, who is the person who gets this minimum salary? How can I get the person? I need the index here. When I know the index, I go to this array and print the index. So what I'm going to do now, method to find the index of the minimum item in the array. Minimum item, which means minimum salary, because this is generic, not just for the salary. Minimum item, whatever the item is. Public, static. Now it's not double. It has to be integer because I need the index, not the salary. Integer minimum index. I'll call it mine index. The same, it's the double salary. Now, I will assume double mine equals the first salary. It's the same like I search for the maximum. I assume the maximum is the first one. Now I'll assume the minimum is the first one. And because I need the index, I will assume the I cannot use minimum index, I'll use index. I assume the index is the first index, which is 0. Then I go with for integer I equals 0i less than salary dot length I plus plus. I'll do the same comparing if salary of I less than, because now I'm searching for the minimum. If it's less than min, what I have to do? I have here to do two things, not only one. That's why I use the braces, because it's a block. The first thing is replacing the minimum, so min equals salary of I. So I keep always min takes the minimum value, and I keep always index taking the I width of the minimum salary. Finally, I will return I. Now here in the main, I will not print right away. I will get it integer I equals, where is equals? Equals should be here. Equals mine index of salary. Then system dot out dot println what the employee who gets the minimum salary is, not us, is plus names of I. Which I? This I. I'll change I because maybe I will make you confused. So I'll say here min index. Instead of I'll use min index. Let's print. Let's run. Really? Cancel. Where is the error? Return I. Return not I. Return index. Okay. Return index. Let's run. Meet. The poor meet. He's getting the minimum salary. Sorry for this meet. We will enhance your salary next year. Okay, we will wait for reports from your manager and then look at your situation. Last thing, using a method to find number of employees who get salary less than the average. Okay, let's do it. Find or method to find number of employees who get salary less than the average. Public static. What's the type? Who can tell me? The type of the array? The type of the array. The type of the method. The type of the method. Exactly. Why it's integer? Because we need to count. Count amps. Again, I need the salary array, but I have to put here double, which is the type of the array. I'll assume integer count equals 0. Then for integer I equals 0, I less than what? Salary dot length I plus plus. What I need to do? I need to compare between the salary and the average. If the salary less than the average, I increment the count. I add 1 to the count. It's like you are counting on your fingers, 1, 2, and so on. So if salary of I less than average. How can I use the average? Actually, I have a method which is finding the average. So I'm gonna use this method. Less than the average of salary. Count plus plus. And finally, return count. Okay, so here in the main, system.out.println the number of employees have a salary less than the average equals what? Count, what I call it? Count amps, okay. Count amps salary. Two has salary less than the average. If I change this back to 3, still 2. Okay, no problem. But you understand the logic. Do you have any questions? Any questions? No, 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 no. Okay. Now, let's add more together. I'm not gonna give you time to do it. Let's do it together. Add some more things like enter the employee name and or let the user enter the employee name and show his or her salary. Why Amar is a small a? It has to be capital. Okay, so I'll add it here. Number 8. Let the user enter an employee name and print his salary or not found. What's the hint here? Use a method that returns the name index or 0, no, or -1 if not found. We have done this yesterday. It's too easy. Search method to search by name. Public static integer search by name. To search by name, we need the array of names, so string name or names, whatever, and we need the target name, string target name. Now I'm searching for the target name and the array of names. So for integer I equals 0, I less than what names dot length I plus plus. If I find a match, so if, what is this? If names of I dot equals what? Target name. Return I. Finally, after the loop ends, so here at this point, after the loop ends, return -1. I want to tell you something which is important. Look here, the array is names, and here I used the array names. What if I use the array different, like imps? Suppose I use a different name of the array. Is it correct or not? Can I? Is it allowed? Is it allowed to do this? Is it allowed? Do you think this will give me an error? Here, system dot out dot println enter enter the employee name to get their salary. String employee name equals sc dot next. Then search by name. Now the question is what I have to put as targets, as arguments. Here it's employee name. Here it's names. But in the method, emps and target name. So what I have to use here, emps with target name or employee or names with employee name. Which one? If I use emps with target name, I'll get an error. But why? Emps target name. Here, emps target name. Emps target name, but it's error. Why? Names and employee name. No error. Okay, let me explain. Here, when I declared, did I declare target name or employee name? What? It's employee name. So if I use target name, it's not recognized here. If I use emps, it's not recognized here. What I mean by here, I mean by from here, which is, from here, which is the start of the main method, and here, which is the end of the main method. Do we have anything called target name? No. Do we have anything called emps? No. So how the method here will recognize what is the emps? What is the target name? No idea. Every method has a scope. So the variables within the method and the parameters within the method are known in the method. These we call them local variables. Local variables, not global. the global variable for the class, we declare it here. If we declare a variable here, it will be known all over the class, which means all over methods. Here, I have emps and target name as arguments. These names will be recognized inside this method only. But when I call the method and I use names will be emps and employee name will be the target name. So the method here will work on the names and the employee name, not on emps and target name, because the real values are here, not there. Okay, so search by name, it has to be integer, for example, p equals search by name. Then check if p equals -1, system.out.println what? The name not found, or the employee not found. Else system.out.println the salary of the employee. I can put the name of the employee here. So the salary of who plus employee name plus space equals plus salary of P. Enter the employee to get their salary, Almaz. The salary of Almaz equals 5,700. That's true. Run again. Employee Sangeeta. The employee not found. Sangeeta, did you apply for the job? Maybe not. You have to apply. Maybe you will be an employee. Okay. Sir, instead of employee name in else statement, can we use name of I? Here, name of I, name of P, names of P. It's the same. Employee name or names of P is the same. If we want to not use created array, we want to create an empty array and let the user fill it. So I will start here, ask the user about the number of employees. System.out.println, how many employees do you have? Integer number equals sc dot next int. Then create the empty arrays. New string of number. Here, new double of number. Then I will here create a method for reading. Method to fill the two arrays. This method is not returning any value. So public static void fill arrays. I will fill both arrays, so I need them. String names, comma, double salary. Okay, so here we will fill the two arrays from the keyboards by the user from the keyboard. What we have to do, we have to start with for integer I equals 0, I less than any one of them because they have the same length, names dot length I plus plus. I will have a block, that's why I use the brackets. System.out.println what? Enter the employee name. Now the user will enter the name and we will put the name in the names. So names of I equals sc dot what? Next. It's not name, it's names. SC here is what? What's the problem with the SC? What is the SC? SC is the scanner. I here defined the scanner, SC. But why it says here cannot be resolved? Cannot be resolved, it means not recognized. Why? Why? Because I declare it within the scope of the main method. But here I'm not in the main method, so it's not recognized. What can I do? What if I take it up from here and put it here? Let me look back. Still have the problem. Cannot make a static reference to non-static field. Okay, yes, it's not static, so I can make it static here. Public static. Now I don't have any problems. Okay, so we filled the name. Let's repeat. After we filled the name, let's ask to enter the employee salary. And here, salary is next what? Double. Now I have to call this method at the very beginning here. After creating the two arrays, I will call the fill arrays with names and comma salary. Okay, print. Let's create a method to print. Method to print employees names and salaries. Public static void printing. Printing what? String names array and double salary array. So for integer I equals 0, I less than names dot length semicolon I plus plus. How do you want to print? How do you want them to look like? It's up to you. Let's say I want to print them like in a table, so I will start here with system.out.println names, and after names I leave a space, then I'll put this salary. So here not names, name and salary. Okay, then we will print plus little space and this space plus salary of I. Salary of I. Printing, let me take the printing here. Printing of names and salary. Let's run. How many employees do you have? 3. Enter employee name. Sangeeta, congratulations, you are accepted. Salary, 3,000. Employee name, I don't have, I have here meet. Salary, 4,500. Employee name, Amar. So here, name, salary. Sangeeta, I have to fire you. Your name is too long, so it makes the printing looks like messy. Okay, no problem. You see here name, salary, and Sangeeta. Then the salary meet and Amar are exactly the same length, so everything looks fine. Sangeeta name is a bit longer, so it shifted the salary. You can arrange it. We have some ways to arrange it, even if the name is longer. So no need to fire Sangeeta. Good news. Okay, so here the salary, we have to do something because it's too long, so we should use the format to make it just has 2 digits after the decimal point. Enter employee to get their salary, meet, salary of meet. Any questions? Yes, I need. It's 8%. Where is the charger? Okay, no problem, I'll get it. I'll stop. If you don't have any questions, I will stop the recording, and that's it. You can go. Yes, Amar. Any questions?